Hi, everybody, and welcome to Casting Call. It's good to see you all. All right, you know what? Tonight we got some really great guests coming out, and I want you all to stand up and welcome her, if you would, please. And also we have two other very special guests, Casting Call's very own Joshua and Liz from Casting Call. Let's give them a round of applause. Right now our special guest speaker is from Red Modeling Agency. And I want you to give her a very warm welcome. She's a bigwig in town. Her name is Deborah Deschene from Canada. She's been at this for 17 years. She is no rookie, and she knows what she's doing and exactly what she's looking for. So let's give her a very round of applause.
Deborah Deschene! Give it up! Well, thank you for being here, Deborah. We really appreciate this. This is an honor.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, anytime. So, you know, how did you get into the modeling business? I mean...
well, I'd have to say my story is probably a little bit unique, especially for Americans. I'm originally from Canada. The province I'm from is Saskatchewan. I was born and raised in a little town called Punashai, about 350 people. That's it.
Wow, small town.
I was like a village, okay? I had no clue what modeling was. I didn't know what acting was. At home we had 2, maybe 3 television stations, that's it.
Jeez.
Watched the nightly news.
What did you guys do for entertainment?
Well, let me see.
Pond hockey?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much pond hockey. When I graduated from high school, I moved to the big city of Regina. It's the capital of the province. And back in those days, back in the 80s, I'm 41, so it was a long time ago, they used to run ads in the newspaper. And they would say, okay, you know, looking for models for whatever. And I answered an ad. And an agent from Vancouver, his name is Charles Stewart, and he has a company called Faces West, which is a modeling and talent convention. He came out, and the agency that I applied through was called Stages, which is still in business today, 20-some years later.
Wow.
And that was how I started.
Nice.
Yep, but I had no idea. I was like, oh, what is modeling exactly? Why are all these people in line? I mean, I had to wait for like 200 people. That was really how it was.
Wow.
When did you come to the United States from Canada and start working here?
I have done... well, when I started in that province, I modeled from the time I was 18 to 24. And back in those days, if you didn't make your hit, like, you know, the Lindy Evangelista of those times, if you didn't make that hit by the time you were 24, you were actually too old.
Wow.
The time was done.
It's a dog-eat-dog world.
Yeah, yeah. And pretty much that was what happened. I was too short. I had opportunity. I had clients that I was working with locally in my home province. I was doing some work in Toronto. I had the opportunity to come into LA and New York, and it was when I went to New York for a runway show that I realized I was not going to be Linda Evangelista. I was like, just about 3 inches too short. Yeah.
3 inches?
Yeah.
Just get higher shoes.
Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way. So I loved the industry so much that I wanted to stay in it. And I thought to myself, well, how on earth can I continue on with this sort of passion and this kind of crazy fun business that we call entertainment? And so I approached the lady that I was modeling for at Stages if I could actually start working for her. And so I started as a local agent, and I started to teach classes, modeling classes and acting classes, and I started to book people locally in my home province. And then I went to Calgary, and then I had an offer from Minneapolis. I spent a year in Minneapolis. Then I went back to Calgary because I had another offer there. Then I had an offer in Colorado. So I went to Colorado. Then I came back and I had an offer and spent some time in the Carolinas. I went to Germany, and then I took a bit of a break after 9/11 because, as we know, the modeling business, everything got really slow. And I took about a 4 or 5 year break, and then lo and behold, a lady in Florida was starting, a medical doctor was bought an
Wow.
agency and wanted me to come down and run it. And the only way that I would come was under a very specialized visa. So I had to qualify. And it's the only visa that allows you to take it from a working visa into a permanent status. And so I qualified, and voila,
Nice.
Wow.
here I am. Yeah.
So that was when you first moved to America?
That was, yeah, my actual first, like,
Wow.
permanent move. The other ones were, you can come in and then you gotta leave. Bye-bye. We're done with you.
The place is kind of full, so after a while, we
no.
gotta-
Years ago, they had a visa that you would cross the border, but it was a short-term visa. So when your term was up, if the company didn't want to renew you, then they would send you back home. So,
Wow. Make
yeah.
sure you hit Disney World before they send you back, right?
Yes, yeah. So no, I spent 3 years booking in Southwest Florida, and of course sending kids all over. I mean, I'd place them in New York City and out in Los Angeles, and I would send them over to Miami because Miami clients, you know, they didn't book in Southwest. They didn't want the Southwest Florida agents. They only wanted Miami agents. Yeah, that's what I did. Then I came to Vegas. I've been in Vegas 2 years.
All right. How do you like living here compared to Canada or in Vegas,
Well, Vegas has been interesting.
to say the least?
Yeah, well, when I first came, I didn't know what a go-go dancer was. I was like, my first call from a client, and they said, oh, we want to book go-go dancers, and I was like, well, 1 moment, please. Hold. And I turned to the other agent, what is a go-go dancer? I've never heard of this. What do they do? Is this like a catalog shoot? You know, I don't know what the heck that was.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's just different. You know, it's every market that you go to as an agent, there's a bit of a learning curve, and Vegas has a little bit more of a learning curve just due to the nature of Las Vegas. You know, everything revolves around the Strip and around the casinos, and so it's just different, that's all.
So is there more opportunity for models in Vegas 21 and over?
Yes.
Or is there still a lot of work for the people under 21?
There is some work for people under 21, but the prominent market here is 21, I would say, to about 28. That's an excellent market, and much stronger for girls than guys.
Sorry.
You know, and if you're hot and sexy in Vegas, that works really well. Right, if you're like this, right?
Well, that's why I moved here.
Yeah, like this. Yeah. So, but you know, the nice thing about Vegas, that I always say to anybody that comes into our office, is the fact that you have Los Angeles right next door. So, you know, you can have all your agents in Vegas representing you, and then you can also have your agents in LA. So you can actually have both markets, which is really a convenience.
The best of both
Yeah, it
worlds.
really is actually. Yeah, so
Wonderful.
it's pretty good. I
How
like
is,
it.
you said that you've been to Germany and then working in Canada and the United States, like internationally, like going overseas, is that a completely different?
Oh yes, yeah. I'm the lady at the office that handles all of the foreign placement. And I also do direct bookings into the countries. And of course, yeah, working in Tokyo, if you get a contract for a 30, 60, or 90 day, or China, I mean, it's completely different than America. I mean, you must
bet.
look on the map and know where you're going. And some models really like it, and some models absolutely hate it. I have one girl in Shanghai right now, and she loves it. Thank goodness. The last girl came home in like 25 days. She emailed me and she said, oh, I'm back home now. I'm in New Mexico. And I'm like, oh, what do you mean you're in New Mexico? Oh, I hated it, you know. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. Yeah. So, yeah, it's quite an experience, you know, because you have culture shock because you're in another country. You know, you have to deal with the clients, and some speak great English and some do not. And some don't try, you know, so you're there and you're there to work. And although everything's paid for you, it's not a holiday, you know, and they generally work you pretty hard. I mean, average days in both Tokyo and Shanghai and Hong Kong, average, I would say about a 12 to a 14 or 16-hour day.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, and you work solid. I mean, if you get like a 15-minute break, be happy.